Today we have a 1966 Plymouth Fury, and we are going to be installing a custom Vintage Air kit on it. Vintage Air does not make a complete kit for the car. So we're going to take a new Gen 5 Super Magnum and I'm going to put in this car. This car is leaving in 3 weeks and it's going to Cruising the Coast. We're in Missouri. That's in the Gulf Port of Mississippi. I think this is going to be somewhere around a 22 to 2,500 mile round trip that this car is going to make. So we're getting it nice and cool for the owner. So I went ahead and got the antifreeze drained here, and I pulled the 2 heater hoses off. They're right here as you see, and just got them capped so we don't make a mess. I went ahead and blew the lines out, used rags. So we got our radiator and our antifreeze all drained down a little bit, so we won't have a big mess throughout the rest of the job. Let's go ahead and pull these 2 out. I say I'm going to take it off here. Just like that. Here it comes. Just be careful not to scratch the crap out of everything. Alright. Woohoo! And we have it out. That's what the factory unit looks like. Let's set it up here. Whew! I was expecting that to come out a lot more worse than it did. I expected a big fight with that. But we took our time, we got it out. We didn't hurt anything, we didn't break anything. Oh, this is a 1966 model, so man, everything in this thing is brittle, fragile, so you just gotta be patient with it. This is just too cool. Look at all of this. This is original. That's the original seam sealer. All this original padding up in here. And man, that originality stuff, it just really gets to me. It's very rare that you get to work on a car that's in this good a shape, especially like a rare car like this, a 1966 Plymouth Fury. I mean, you don't ever see these cars going up and down the road anymore, and it's a 2-door on top of that, so pretty wild. All right, now we got the seat out. Look how big this car is. It's huge. We got so much room for lots of activities. All right, now I can kind of start fitting up. No, I can't. I got to take that out, a couple other items out. Then I can start fitting up this evaporator unit under here. Now, let's go grab the evaporator plenum and see if it'll actually fit in here. So yeah, that's gonna fit very nice. I got some fabbing to do. So Vintage Air sent me a couple different universal brackets, so I'm definitely gonna have to mount this back side up somehow to these, because I only want to drill like 2 more holes in the firewall, because I want to leave this as original as possible, and I plan on drilling them right below this. See this factory bracket here that's hanging? This bracket here, I want to utilize it, or the position of it anyway, to support the front of this Vintage Air unit. So just took a piece of scrap metal, marked out, cut a hole in it for this to fit. Boom, right there. So that's what I'm doing today, is making the Vintage Air control panel. That is a perfect pan. See the back side? I set this up that I could mount this 2 different ways. So I could, top, this is gonna sit here, this is our center duct. Okay, so I can mount this right beside it and it gives it the same shape, right? Or I can do this and put it directly beside it and it'll look like it's kind of a one-piece unit. And I thought that I could put that right there tight, but maybe I want to take it and put it like that. I don't really know what I want to do. Really?
Yeah.
All right, then that's the way it's gonna be. I'm still painting. It don't look good. It's Willie's fault. I want it to be textured, so I'm using a self-etching primer, Sim. We've already shook it real good today, so I'm gonna coat the inside real good with it. We'll flip it over, coat the outside, let it dry, and then I'm gonna put some Raptor liner on top of it on the outside, so it's textured and it'll match like that black textured plastic. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna drill some holes for this too. So I decided to go with the straight line bulkhead unit from Vintage Air, and it's gonna sit in just like so. So I gotta drill 2 other holes in here. And I don't want this chrome. This is aluminum and they polished it, so I don't want that because there's nothing else here that's chrome or aluminum polished. So I'm gonna give this a quick sandblast. And while I'm painting the other pieces black, I'm gonna paint this black and texture it too. That way it just gives it a really nice feel for originality of the car. I think you were sandblasting yesterday, weren't you?
Yeah.
Throw that down in there and we're gonna sandblast that way it gives it a good etch. Nice and etched. We got our black Raptor liner. It's activated, so you gotta poke the bottom. See, it comes with this nice handy dandy little puncher. Ah, there it goes. Whew. That one was tight. Now, put it in the shaker and shake it. So I'm gonna spray this from a distance away because I want it to have a nice little texture. About ready to do some hush matting, so Willie is going to clean the firewall and we're gonna get some hush mat laid down here.
We need an update on the progress.
You need more than an update. Well, it got the wiring saddled up in here. Old Vintage Air unit and electric fans. So if you look from underneath up, the relays right there. So they're easy access, fused out Ron Francis relays for the electric fan. Here's our box, that pan box that I made to go underneath the dash. So right now I'm hooking up the heater hoses in here from our bulkhead. And then I'm gonna put the crimp the AC lines on. I stubbed all the wiring out right here, and I just done it rough. So that goes to our trinary switch and our temp switch. And then I shoved everything out over here on that side through the grommet. And this here will be our hot wires, our fan lead wires, and our ground wires that runs everything under the dash. You're probably sitting here wondering why we got the radiator out of it. Well, we're trying to get this to fit on. We've been playing with the brackets. We got all kinds of different brackets here that Vintage Air sent us on the front, so took the radiator out of it. I had to drain it down so far anyway to get past the water pump. We got Freed here working over the power steering brackets and the AC brackets. So I just went ahead and I decided to pull the radiator out of it, get it out of the way, and I'm gonna build a fan shroud for it. We've got a cooling fan here for our radiator. That come in, went with Doral. We're gonna go 1 fan. It's a 2-speed fan, so we can run it with AC. While the AC's kicked on, I can run it on low. We have a high setting, that way when the temperature gauge gets up to 175 degrees, then it'll kick on high and cool back down. So that's what we got going here today. I'm gonna be making a fan shroud for this fan. I rough cut a piece of metal right quick, and I'm gonna get this bent up and welded up that'll go around this radiator. You see how I got it laid out here? I got quite a bit of cutting and bending to do to get it to fit the way that I want. I didn't make this long enough for legs because I'm going to come in and make legs to attach to right here that will be welded to this piece. We'd have a lot of more cutting to do if I didn't do that, so I got a little plan for that. But I'm going to box this fan shroud in, but before I do that, I'm probably going to go ahead and cut the hole and everything in it because it'll be a little bit easier to handle and maneuver. Like these hose clamps here, they're my favorite because they look so pretty. Ah, yeah, it's like so. Fixing to have the this dash inside of here completely done. So you guys always want to use this mineral oil that they send with you on the vintage air kits because it keeps your everything lubed up. Your little O-rings and stuff lubed up right there. These are the paint. Oh, yeah, all right. All right, anyway, so the Fury's coming along very fine. We're gonna crimp the AC hoses inside here. All right, now we got that set up. I can crimp. Make sure that we're in all the way here. And we gotta set this just right. Right there. All right, here we go. Why didn't you get him? Just give you a quick rundown to where we left it here. Dash completely buttoned up. Hoses are made. Ductwork is ran. Relays are right back up here behind it. See them relays? We got all of the air ducts in. Control panel mounted. Made the pan box right there for the control panel. So yeah, we pretty well got everything done. And now it's time to try to get all of the motor compartment lined out. So we're stubbed out at the firewall. Got our hoses ready to go there. What I don't have is our AC condenser put in here. So I'm gonna get the AC condenser installed today along with our dryer and plumbing off of our AC condenser. And we should have everything pretty well plumbed today. I'm waiting on the alternator yet. Buy anything with from Vintage Air and you take the cap off of it brand new out of the box and it does not have compressed air in it, it might be damaged. So just a heads up there. So here's our evaporator. This is not our evaporator. I have no idea why I said evaporator. This is a dryer and it'll show you the flow. So I'm gonna unscrew this. Hear that? Yeah. See there? So we know that there's nothing wrong with this particular unit because it still had the compressed air in it that Vintage Air sent. So we'll have to put our trinary switch in here. So I always pull one of these out and put the trinary switch in for your electric fans. But I really think I just want to drill me a real nice size hole right here. I can put me a 90 coming down and a 45 going up, and that would connect them two together. That's my plan of attack. And I'd have to drill me a nice size hole there so I can get this number 8 suction hose to go through with that. So that's what I'm thinking. I think it's gonna work. So we're running the new RGB lines, is what we're running. So these are smaller in diameter, and they gave it the nostalgic looks. They like the old Galaxy styling hose. So that's what we're running on this, try to keep it air correct the best that we can. So I like just going ahead and setting up my my fittings. I think I'm gonna have to put a 45 on this right here because the 90's not gonna work. But we're just gonna play with it for a minute. You don't push on them too hard, you'll bust this bead right here and you'll have a voided fitting. It's very easy to do. And then you'll wonder why it leaks all the time if you go ahead and use it. They don't like a lot of stress. I found that out over the years. Right, so that one goes here. And then this one's gonna go here. I'm gonna have to bend it up. Okay, now see how I pulled on that and I didn't pull out here, I pulled more into there. And that's what you want to do if you have to tweak them a little bit. So my plan is to go from here through the radiator support all the way back over to here to my number 8 high side. Aha! These 2 holes right here and right here, them are factory holes, and I'm gonna assume probably for the same exact thing. And I just kind of guessed when I drilled this hole here for this dryer fitting, and it bolted up perfect on the back side. Look at that. How wonderful, how awesome that is. I'm just telling you, I'm tickled pink right now. You see here, I took my marker and I made me a line on that hose. Make sure you can see that. So we want to make sure that that's lined up as we're crimping it. You do that on both sides, and then that keeps the turn of this hose in the right direction, because you can see how this hose is in completely different directions. That's what we got to have when you crimp. So now I'm going to set my hose in this crimper. I'll make sure that I'm lined up perfectly. Close it. And you don't want to be too far on this side or too far on that side. You want to have an even amount on each side of this fitting in between the crimp, and we're just going to slowly go down with our crimp until it gets snug. And we want to make sure that we're lined up side to side, even amount sticking over on both sides. Now I'm going to hold this in place with it lined up, all my lines lined up, and I'm going to go ahead and lock it in place with my crimp. Now you should be able to go as hard and as far down in this crimp as you possibly can push this lever down back here, and where it won't go any further. And that's your depth. That is your crimp depth right there. Okay. So with all that being done, said, this is a shot from this side. Now release it, releases it, pulls it back over. But voila, we have a perfect crimp that's lined up exactly like we need it to. Now let's do the other side. Gonna lock the valve down snug. Okay, boom. wiring's all buttoned up, finished up. Just like a couple weatherproof connectors to come in that I didn't have. And this job's all finished up. I'll give you a rundown on it. This is our electric wire harness. And this goes to our fans. So I got a 3-way connector coming for that. And then we're gonna put a connector in on that for the trinary switch. And we've got this dude all wired up, fixed up. And we added all these wires, redone the battery cable, redone the ground cable. Come in, I put a junction block in. Go all the way down. This is our vintage ear. And it looms in and around, all the way out to a factory hole that was there. So I'd say I think it turned out pretty good. Just a few little connectors that we're waiting on to come in, and we're waiting on the alternator still yet. So with that being said, I'm gonna clean up my mess and hopefully go find us an alternator. Thanks for watching, stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so we can bring you more badass videos that we're producing today. I wasn't gonna film this, but I found this very exciting and interesting. The factory glove box fit. No modification. No wrestling, no fighting, no cussing. It fit perfect. I just wanted to show you this. Come in here and look at this. There's our fuses and relays for the vintage air system and the electric fans. And I got everything wrapped so it won't condensate inside the car, which our condensation hose is right here. And just look how well that the system is fit in. This is a brand new Super Mag. I'll show you underneath. See that? Gen 5 Super Magnum. We got the radiator back in. We got everything lined out on this Fury. All the updates are made. We're gonna circulate the antifreeze, pump the Freon up, get the AC blowing cold, and we're gonna take this thing down the road. This is the new Gen 5 Super Magnum, the biggest AC unit that Vintage Air makes. And if you see, there's no tint on this car. It's all clear glass. We're gonna take it down the road and test it, and we're gonna see how cold this gets. So it's supposed to put out 20% more air. So we're gonna jump in, take a ride. Man, that baby feels good. It's what, 115 degrees?
Actually, well, heat index is.
Heat index is like 115 degrees right now in southeast Missouri. We've been sweating profusely for 4 days in a row, maybe 5, but we only got 4 fingers to count on. And this AC feels good. I'd pack the cooler and I'd roll out right now. Wouldn't you?
Yeah. Not a second thought. This is a sweet, sweet little car.
All right, well, I don't know about you, but I gotta get out and warm up.
Yeah.
Woo.